So hello Matthew, thanks again for coming for us in Italy.
Happy to be here.
Last time we met you was with the Cobblestone Jets here.
Yeah.
And you made your live with Daniel and the other guy. And so now you present your new album, your new live set. And what do you want to expect by it?
Well, actually, yeah, it's the summer's over now, so I've actually, and my album came out in, I guess in June or something, and so I've actually been writing a bit over the summer. So, I mean, there's a couple things from the album, of course, but there's also a lot of new material, just even from the last couple weeks, actually, that I just wrote. So we're playing some of that as well. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
So you're one of people speak about you like a techno artist, but you are not a techno artist because you play a very different kind of music and very different kind of sounds and all kind of. But don't you think it's a little bit reductive? This kind of it's a little bit not so much speaking about you like a techno artist. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, when I think about the music I make, I think of techno in a very broad term. So I do think of myself as a techno artist, of course. But at the same time, I mean, for me, the idea of putting music into genres all the time and having to classify things and thinking of music in this way, and for me, it's I think maybe it promotes the idea of a little bit being closed-minded, you know.
Oh, okay.
And so I get a little bit annoyed actually when it's like this or this or this, and it's like it's like, hey, because people call me a techno artist or they say I'm a minimal artist or whatever.
It's not a problem for you.
You know, no, it's not a problem, but I think for me, you know, and it's also kind of the point that I'm trying to make with Wagner Pair as well is that good music is good music, you know, and it's not about a genre per se. It's about something that people enjoy and feel some emotional connection to.
Yeah, and it's like why you call Cobblestone Jazz. It's like not jazz music, but
not really jazz.
Like an approach. It's maybe an approach.
Yeah. It's a
communication.
It's an open-minded way of thinking and an openness to take many different ideas, mix them together, and move forward. You know, learn something every time you play, hopefully.
And in your last album, you put the track Marionette at the beginning.
Yeah.
So Marionette is one of the most popular track about techno tracks. I think never since a long time. No, so why the beginning?
Well, actually, funny enough, this track on my album was one that when I made it, I actually didn't think that it was worth releasing, and because I felt that there wasn't enough happening. It was just one synth line with some very minimal drums. And so when I made it, I really liked the idea, but I actually made this before the single of Marionette came out, almost 2 years before, I think.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's actually the original, and that's why I called it the beginning, is because that track that's on the album is the one, and I made it, and I felt that there was something there that was powerful, you know? And so I went in the studio actually a few times, trying to get this feeling back, and it took a couple times actually, and when I finally actually did do the single that I put out, it really took some time to get it having the same feeling. And now actually, now that the single came out and it was heavily played and it made a connection with people. Started listening to the first one, and actually I prefer the first one better. For myself, I like this one better, which is actually the original. And now it seems to make sense actually. Whereas before I felt like I don't know why. Sometimes when you write music and it's just the basic feeling, and you listen to it, and then you listen to it as a artist, and you say, okay, there's something really there. But then you listen to it, maybe coming from a DJ's point of view or a record label owner's point of view, and you say, okay, well, maybe you have to put some strings over it or another melody line or something, And I mean, in a way, it's kind of it's always this kind of push and pull of being an artist and just expressing the true feeling, or making it something that's more, I don't know, more I don't know what you would say about it, but just so maybe something that just catches people, maybe a little bit easier. I don't know, but anyways, of course I'm happy with the way both of them came out. But now, if I was to sit and I want to say, okay, I want to play this track, the one that I'm more happy to play is this one on the album, which is actually the one, that was 2 years before. And actually, funny enough, I gave this track to a few different DJs. To put on their record label. Actually, Richie Houghton was one of them. And even though I didn't release this one, this is the one that he was playing. Yeah, he played the original one all the time.
The first time I listened to this track was playing for Richie Houghton at Sonar. Yeah. For the last track, I remember. Yeah. Okay. The open era. And I said, what is this track? Yeah. This was the new version, old version.
Yeah, the old version. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was getting emails all the time asking me who did. How to get the Richie Houghton remix of Marionette.
Really?
Yeah, because he was always, I think actually he might have been the only person that had it. And I told him actually that I'd never released it, but then when I started thinking about doing my album, I was like, okay, well, I think it's time. It makes sense now.
So last question, you collaborate with a lot of different artists, not only with Cobblestone Jazz and so on, but so new collaboration, new project, or just for fun?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few different things actually that is happening right now. Funny, like when you like me and my brother both make music, and I think we kind of take it for granted that we don't work together that much, just because it's kind of that thing where it's like me and Todd Conrad Black. It's like we've been friends for a long time, and it's kind of like, hey, we should go to the studio together. But because we hang out all the time, we just kind of never end up doing it for some reason. I don't know. So actually, I played at the Watergate. We had a Wagner Fair party in Berlin last Saturday, and me and my brother played under a project we do called Midnight Operator. And actually really worked, and we're trying to get some more shows together, and it was a cool style actually. We actually kind of got in a bit of an argument before we played about like how we wanted to do it and this and that, because we didn't really have much time to prepare for it and stuff, and we made up and got up on stage, and it really worked out. And we've been meaning to make an album actually this year, so I'm hoping in the next month we're going to spend some more time in the studio. I guess other collaborations actually. I mean, me and Colin are also trying to release another single together. We only have the one on compact that we did, so we're going to put together another one, just the two of us.
Always on compact.
What's that?
Always on compact.
Yeah, we might do it on compact again, just because. Yeah, I mean that was our first one, and just why not keep it in the same? Yeah, just forward and more on compact. It would kind of make sense actually. So I mean, I don't know if we're doing that or not. We'll have to show Michael the record, of course, and see if he likes it or not.
Perfect. I have a question. You have a question? Yeah.
Once upon a time, Laurent Garnier said, "I made a record. I started doing electronic music because I don't know anything about music." But how is it important to know about music and harmony to make electronic music?
I think it depends on the way you look at it. Really, like it's.
a lot of schools to get like as a classic musician. Like how is important to the electronic production you did?
Yeah, when it comes to electronic music, I think it's really different for everybody, because I know a lot of house producers that say this is house music. We just bash samples together, and it doesn't need to be in key. It doesn't need to be in harmony. And a lot of these records that I hear, I really like. When it comes to my own music, if it's out of key, it's on purpose. It's usually because I'm trying to create tension to go into a place where it is in key or something like that. When I make my own music, I like to keep everything very much in harmony and everything very tuned. You know, like I don't only tune the synthesizers, but I tune all the drums and all the cymbals and everything, so it all is in the same harmonics. But I don't think it's necessary, actually. I think it's something actually that comes with when you have musical background and you take, you know, like I did classical piano, for instance, or whatever, and I was in school bands and whatever, and when you're trained like this, they teach you every day it has to be in tune, it has to be in tune, it has to be in tune, and it has to be arranged this way, and it has to be played like this, and blah blah blah. And as much as that is a great learning experience, and you know, I certainly wouldn't want to go back and say I didn't want to have any music training, but at the same time, what makes a track special isn't necessarily that. And sometimes people that don't have any music training or any kind of schooling or anything like that have much more open ideas because they're not pushed down a certain road of classical music, you know, and it's like, and so that's the thing. It's like it's always this kind of this idea of what's right and wrong, you know. And sometimes when I'm playing with other musicians, I find myself getting really like if things aren't in key or in pitch or in harmony or whatever, you know, it's hard for me to have a good time when I'm playing it. But actually sometimes I should just be able to let go and just do it instead, you know. Go with the feeling.
It's a long answer.
Not talking about harmony. His live show was defined by the guys that like academic, some people from Chicago make a record like one drum machine, one voice is done.
It depends.
Yeah.